The date is January 10th, 2013, and this is Daily D&D. Hey guys, welcome to Daily D&D today. My name is MadMat1Cow, and thank you for joining me. Today, first off, we're going to talk about Devas. Devas came out in 4th edition in Player Handbook 2, and they are an immortal race. Long ago in ancient times, they were the actual servants of the gods who were given physical form and sent down. And so the Devas do a lot of really crazy things when compared to other races. First of all, there are no Babi Devas. They don't have children. They don't reproduce. What they do is when a Deva dies, they get reincarnated as an adult Deva. When you kill this one, somewhere else across the world, a new Deva springs into existence, fully formed adult, with memories, vague memories of his previous lives, and being able to speak multiple languages. So they're really cool like that. They are of the immortal origin. So, you know, if an effect has something to do with, like, the Astral Sea, they totally count. They also speak a lot of languages for a race, getting Common plus an additional 2 to start out. And so that's really cool. They're a lot of fun, and it's an extremely interesting thing to play and roleplay. Devas have weird color patterns. They've got light and dark patterns on their skin, and their hair is one of those colors as well. And they, like, have probably little sigils and stuff. They can be a lot of different colors. The one I'm playing is kind of a deathly gray and a, you know, lighter gray for his hair and his markings, I think. Mostly that dark gray, though. Yeah, one of the powers that Devas get is called Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes. Devas have been around for a while, and one of the things that they can do is they can roll a die. It starts out as a D6, but you can have, there's a lot of feats that play with it that allow you to do a lot of cool things with it. And you can roll that D6 and add it to pretty much any roll that you made with a D20. And so it's like, skill check, that sucked, well, add a D6. Attack roll, I missed, add a D6. And so, yeah, that's pretty useful to be able to go from failure to success, or to be able to boost your check up. One of the things that my Deva does is he has a bunch of rituals that he can cast. And in a lot of them, it's, I've got, you know, for the different ranks of what skill checks you have to make, I've got like a +6. And so if I don't roll a 6 on the die, I need to add to it. And so yeah, that's pretty cool. Devas have an interesting thing that they do, where if they, there are no evil Devas, or at least not for long. When they are significantly evil and they die, instead of, you know, being reborn as a Deva, they can become a Rakshasa, which is this spiritual tiger thing with, like, backwards hands and stuff. They become a monster and not a playable race. And so that's another pretty cool thing. And so when you see a Deva around, you can trust them. As far as I can tell, they are, in fact, immortal. You have to actually kill one. They're not going to die of old age, because I don't think they age. They are immortal. They, you know, are the same age when they are born or spawned as when they die. So that's really cool. As I said, their feats mostly have to deal with their Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes power. That's, you know, pretty cool. They also have a lot of very fun things that you can do based on classes that they are, that allow you to get some cool bonuses here and there for your class, if you're a religious or a wisdom-based class. So yeah, I think that's it for Devas. So yeah, if you get the chance, check one out. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below. One of the cool things about Thursdays is I get to talk about our campaign that we're doing. And this was a pretty fun one. There was a lot of really, really cool stuff. First off, there was, you know, if you've been following along, and I don't remember how much I told you, but we totally, you know, ninja assassinated somebody a couple weeks ago. And, you know, we finally got back to the city where we've, you know, saved the day pretty much. And people are like, oh, you saved the day? Well, what happened? And we've put off telling them. And there was a big funeral for all of these zombies and everybody who died. And for the priest guy who my sister totally murdered. I talked to the DM about it, and we had come up that I should give a eulogy. And so if you click here, you'll be taken to my other channel where I posted the eulogy so that instead of having to give it, I could just turn my computer around to D&D and let it play out. And so that was cool. And that video that just was up totally played during D&D, and it was a lot of fun. And I like doing stuff like that. Because then, you know, when you're giving something like that, it's hard in-game to be able to keep the straight face that you need. But when you're just talking to a webcam that's taped to a pole, why am I keeping a straight face at you guys? This is kind of ridiculous. However, it is a little bit easier when the other person isn't going to start laughing and throw off your groove. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So we did that at the beginning, and then, you know, plot went by, and we had to go off and do a bunch of stuff. It's kind of like, wasn't necessarily a collection quest, but apparently the castle where there's a king who's been given a lot of magical gifts by a bunch of very weird people. There's Verlokas, werewolves, a druidic circle, and this human city all around here that have given like magical gifts to the king. And we had enough people in our party to split into 4 ways and go and do it. And when I say we had enough people in our party, we're supposed to have enough people in our party to be able to do this. But 2 of them don't reliably show up, so they stayed where they were. And then another 2 went off their one way, and then me and my sister went off another, which was good because we had today in our group 3 strikers and 1 leader, me being the leader. So I needed somebody with me. Barry, our group's archer, and kind of the group leader right now, went off and did some, you know, had to fight. We each had like a massive boss battle kind of at the same time, and so the initiative would go to this group, player, monster, this group, player, monster, this group, player, monster. So it was a great way to split it up and have all of the combat kind of happening at the same time. And Paul had planned so that all of us would kind of be in combat at about the same time. But Keith fought this gigantic zombie that we had been fighting before, who was actually in spirit a little boy. He killed them after a while and found a lightsaber bow, which is just kind of like this weird handle thing. And when he holds it, it turns into a bow that he's able to use. And it's a +5 bow that also glows and lights up, and can also has a quarterstaff mode where he can use it as a dual weapon for melee combat. So that's really cool. Our Dragonborn werewolf sorcerer that has no shadow. Yeah. I made that character. He just devised. Went off to a werewolf tribe, or clan, or whatever you wanted to call them, and challenged them for, like, whatever. He kind of wanted to take over the entire clan. The DM didn't want to give him an entire clan, and instead let him go to where it needed to. And he ended up doing a one-on-one duel with this person, with, you know, werewolf mistress, warrior chick with 2 swords, who was doing all these dervish type things and dirty fighting. And, you know, she came in, and he's just like, yeah, I used a spell, and suddenly I'm, like, super armored. And then I used a spell, and I knock her back. And then I, like, you know, and he just pretty much used a ton of magic, didn't get hit once, and, you know, dealt a lot of damage to her. Me and Jerusha went to the Circle of Druids, except the Druids weren't there, and it looked like they had all been, you know, their village had been ransacked. So we continued on the direction that we were supposed to go, and there we saw a large, gigantic tree guarded by a large dinosaur. And we're all like, uh-oh, dinosaur, that's not good. And so we get ready to attack it, and I go through my rituals, and I look through, and I see, aha, speak with nature. And I spend the healing surge because I love that house rule. It's amazing. Being able to cast rituals as a standard action is just great. And so I cast Speak with Nature, and suddenly I'm able to understand the dinosaur. And so I'm like, hey, stop. We don't, you know, can we, you know, come to an agreement? And the dinosaur is like, hey, I'm here to protect this tree. And we're like, we don't want to hurt the tree. We just want to study it for a bit. And, you know, be able to converse with you. We won't do anything wrong to this tree. And I rolled my bluff check, and I got a nat 1! Yes! And so the dinosaur's like, I don't believe you! I don't! Pooh! And it fired a Hadoken blast at me, and it hit me. And then my sister, you know, this Shadar Kai assassin-y thing, went up to go and jump on its back, but rolled a nat 1 for her athletics roll. Oh, you rolled a 2?
Yeah, and it was too low to hit.
No, that was for your attack, not for your athletics check.
You sure?
Mm-hmm, I am sure.
Where he steps on me, yeah.
Yeah, and so she rolled a nat 1. She's over there. But she rolled a nat 1 to jump up onto its back and missed and, like, landed underneath the dinosaur, and it stepped on her and dealt a lot of damage. And then I gave her an attack, or she made an attack there, or something like that, and she, like, ripped out its Achilles tendon while being underneath the dinosaur's foot. And we pushed it off of him, and we dealt a lot of damage to the dinosaur. But Speak with Nature is like a 10-minute spell, and so after we've, like, seriously made it so that we could kill it in just a minute, I'm like, hey, dinosaur, listen, we don't really want to kill you. I told you the truth about that. We just need to look at the tree. So I will bind your wounds and stuff and not kill you if you let us do this. And he's like, yeah, okay. So we healed the dinosaur up a bit, and there's, like, this green emerald up in the tree, and we were, that was the thing that we had. I had, like, a ritual, like a real quick one, that I was supposed to go and do on that to break the connection to this king guy that I'm not entirely sure if we need to kill him or what. But yeah, we get the signal, so we suddenly do our coordinated attack, and I have my Orb of Divine Knowledge, is what it's called, that allows me to cast spells outside of my class. And so I looked at our Sorcerer's page, and I grabbed one of the awesome spells that I know, Sorcerer's Sirocco. Suddenly I'm able to fly 8 this turn, so I fly up, I do smack at it with the other ritual, disband it, and then land on the ground, and then turn around and make my sister invisible and move her around so that she's able to knife the dinosaur, which we had a massive argument about because she wanted to keep it and would not settle for the fact that she couldn't keep this one. But yeah, we killed that dinosaur. I don't want to hear it from you. That took way too long, and I didn't get my Qdoba because of it. So you shush. So yeah, we took out everything. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun times were had. Barry, the guy who plays Barry, is going to be leaving our group in like 3 weeks from now, and I'm sadly not going to be there for those nights, and I don't like that at all. But yeah, that's life sometimes. So we're trying to cram in as much story, so it's going pretty fast. We're getting a lot done. But yeah, I think that's it for the D&D wrap-up. I wish you guys would have been there. Do you guys have any way cool stories from your group? Totally leave them in comments below. I love hearing way awesome stories. One of the things that eats up a lot of time is because we have new people, and we have, a couple old people there who have been there for a couple of years, and a couple of new people. We'll start telling some of the old stories. Stories about Jorgen, stories about Tanith, stories about Barry, stories from our campaigns that we had long ago. And it was great. And yeah, we like to reminisce. So if you want to reminisce, please do so in the comments below. While you're down there, leave a comment if you have any questions for me. And also if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, please also leave a comment, because I like to know what I did wrong. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this, leave a comment there too, telling me that you watched it. Because otherwise, Facebook doesn't respond to how I do videos as well as, say, YouTube does. YouTube and Facebook don't share the numbers. So if you're watching it somewhere, please leave me a note saying that you're watching it somewhere, because that makes me feel better about what I'm doing. Yeah, and if you know anyone who needs to see the video, click on the share button down below. There's also a subscribe button down there somewhere if you're on the YouTube homepage, and you can click on that if you have a YouTube account, and every day I will come to your YouTube subscription box, instantly, just like being able to cast a ritual, just like that. My name is Matt1Cow. This has been Daily D&D. You guys stay in line, and I will see you next time.